So, we're going to do something kind of cool today. We're going to connect a story that's thousands of years old with a subject that, let's be honest, a lot of us first meet in middle school: algebra. It's this amazing link between ancient wisdom and modern problem solving, and I promise it might just change the way you look at the letter X forever.
It's a fair question, right? It sounds a little strange. I mean, on one hand, you've got this epic tale of empires, dreams, and survival, and on the other, you have variables and equations. But what we're about to see is that the skills you need to handle one are actually, surprisingly, the very same skills you need to master the other.
All right, so let's dive in. Our story starts way back in ancient Egypt, where a man named Joseph gets handed one of the biggest management headaches in history. He's not just in charge of a small pantry, he is managing the survival of an entire kingdom that's staring down a massive crisis.
And here was the problem in a nutshell. A simple timeline, but with unbelievably high stakes. First, you get 7 years of incredible abundance, more food than anyone knows what to do with. But that's immediately followed by 7 years of devastating famine. Joseph's job? Make the good times last through the bad. And failure? Yeah, that was not an option.
I mean, just try to wrap your head around the scale of this. We are not talking about a few dozen sacks of grain here. The text says it was like the sand of the sea, so much that they literally stopped trying to count it. So how do you manage something that huge without a system, without a language to even describe what you're doing?
Well, it turns out the language he needed is one we all actually learn: the language of math. To bring order to all of this chaos, Joseph basically had to rely on two fundamental ideas, two really powerful tools that are at the very heart of algebra.
The first tool is the equation. The best way to think about it is like a perfectly balanced scale. An equation just says that whatever's on one side is exactly equal to what's on the other. Its whole job is to be super precise to help you find a single, specific, unknown number that you're looking for.
Now, the second tool is the inequality. And if an equation is all about finding one exact answer, an inequality is about setting a rule. It doesn't give you one specific number. Instead, it creates a boundary, like a minimum you have to maintain or a maximum you just can't go over. It's the perfect tool for creating a safety net.
So let's just put them side by side. An equation gives you that pinpoint accuracy. It answers the question, how many sacks did we give out today? But an inequality gives you a guiding principle, a rule to live by. We must always have at least this many sacks in reserve. You see? You need both for smart management.
Okay, enough with the theory. Let's see how this stuff actually works. We're going to run through a few quick scenarios Joseph might have faced, and we'll see which tool is the right one for the job. All right, problem number 1. This is a classic inventory situation, right? You have a starting number, an ending number, and one missing piece of information. This calls for a very precise answer, not some general rule. So what do? We turn the words into math. It's like a translation. We started with 100, we subtracted some unknown amount, we'll call it X, and we ended up with 70. This equation is a perfect little model of the situation, and X is our mystery number. And boom, we solve for X, and there's our answer, 30. The equation just cuts right through all the fog to give us that one solid number. He gave away exactly 30 sacks. That's the power of this thing. It turns a question, a moment of not knowing, into a concrete fact you can actually use. Okay, now for a totally different kind of challenge. Notice the keywords here, at least. This isn't about how much was given away on Tuesday. This is a policy. It's a fundamental rule for the entire operation to make sure they never, ever run dry. You guessed it, this is a job for our other tool. The number of sacks in reserve, let's call it X, has to be greater than or equal to 50. It could be 51, it could be 150, it could be 5,000. The inequality doesn't care what the exact number is, as long as that rule, that minimum safety net, is never broken. All right, last one, and this is a big one. This is all about fairness. When you're handing out resources, making sure everyone gets an equal share is absolutely vital. So once again, we're on the hunt for one specific exact number. And the equation here is beautifully simple. You've got 5 cities, and each one gets an unknown amount, X. All of that together has to add up to the 200 sacks we have. Our only job is to figure out the one value for X that makes the statement true. And a little quick math tells us that X is 40. Each city gets exactly 40 sacks, no more, no less. See what happened there? The equation didn't just solve a math problem, it created perfect balance. It ensured fairness across the whole kingdom.
It's a tool for justice.
So we've seen how these tools can solve real-world problems of supply and management. But if we just zoom out for a second, what's the bigger lesson here? What is finding X really all about?
Well, here's the big idea. Math isn't just some abstract subject you have to get through in school. It's a practical tool for wisdom. It's the language we use to plan for the future, to measure what we have, to solve problems fairly, and, when you get right down to it, to serve other people well.
You know, the source material for this puts it perfectly. It says Joseph's success came from wisdom and discipline. And in a way, math gives all of us a framework to practice that same wisdom and discipline, whether we're managing a nation's food supply or, just our own budget.
So the next time you see an equation, maybe don't just see a bunch of numbers and letters. See it for what it really is, a powerful tool for finding truth, for creating fairness, and for bringing a little bit of order to a chaotic world. It really makes you wonder, what other timeless wisdom is hiding in plain sight in the very subjects we study every single day?